Well, I think maybe the most important thing to see is that this entire topic, or the addressing the culture, if you will, of alcohol and youth and the consumption of alcohol isn't something that can be painted clearly with numbers and statistics. And that's, I think that in looking at this whole topic as a big picture as opposed to just what the bar admittance age is, it's going to take a lot more feedback other than just statistics that I can give them from an enforcement standpoint. And there has been a little bit of a downtick on ours as well, but maybe not as significant as the other two communities that I chose to compare us to, which again were Warrensburg and Kirksville. But there's a number of different varieties that could go into that. I think that the bar owners, the numbers are usually pretty telling as to how aggressive or not aggressive the bar owners and the management is in trying to determine age. House parties and the number of those, and believe it or not, weather sometimes has a factor on MIPs and the things that we see. In the wintertime, whenever it's cold and people aren't out walking on the streets or having house parties, the numbers tend to be smaller because people can't fill the house up and then spill over into the yard, or it's just not a good environment for that. So weather again plays a factor, and the better the weather, the more we will have people out on lawns and walking the streets that may be in violation of some of the liquor laws as well. I think that the majority of the bar owners at this point in time tend to favor the move of putting the age, bumping it up to 21. That has certainly not always been the case, and in fact, over the years, the bulk of the bar owners have tended to go away from that. But I know that of one particular establishment that's still pretty solid, that they want to stay at 19, and I think that the rest are pretty unified with wanting to move to 21. Actually, one of my fears is that if we restrict 19 and 20-year-olds, that the number of house parties will increase, and I think that has to be a multi-phase approach, in that we don't just address that with the bars, that we also do some looks at our ordinances in terms of beefing up our house party rules and regulations. One of the other things that I'm going to probably at some point suggest that we look at is the drinking in public ordinance, or lack thereof. We don't have one, and the other 9 communities that were in my original report in the fall do have the drinking in public ordinance. So I think that that's something that addresses the culture, if you will, as also. Maryville's very unique in this situation, in that for 9 months of the year, the student population attributes about 1/3 of the total city population. And that is the ratio for the other, not only 2 communities, but the rest of the university communities in the state as well, is significantly student to population ratio less. There's actually a timeline set out, and it actually goes all the way to the start of the next school year, when changes, if there's going to be changes made, they will be done by that point. And there's places starting as early as February 4th, I believe it is, to start gathering some student input, and I don't know the exact forum that's going to take place in yet, but there are several efforts over the next couple of months to try to gather student input. Okay. Well, we actually started Bar Patrol in probably 7 or 8 years ago as a community policing effort. Again, a lot of our problems that we were addressing with students were taking place in that environment. We knew that we had a number of problems in that environment as well, and we just wanted to try to make a closer outreach to the population that was there. So that was our effort. It's a more bar-friendly approach, and we're there to help prevent problems as much as we are to identify problems, but we certainly will enforce the laws as we're there. And I know that one of the other things that, for example, Warrensburg did when they went to 21 as opposed to 19 was did some ordinance work to where if the bars wanted to have open nights, they could actually lock the liquor up and have social events. But it had to be pre-planned and applied for, I think, but they thought that had been fairly successful as well.